Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. And today we're going to work on some lampshades. Don't forget to have your Trump coffee. Yes, it's not in a Trump coffee cup, but I went hunting yesterday and didn't have a cup, so I had to buy a to-go cup to carry with me in the woods. It's got a lid on it, so keep it hot. So I figured this is going to be my shop cup. That way it'll stay hot longer. But anyway, what I did, I bought a set of lamps, and it didn't have no shades or harps, and I ended up having to buy harps for it, which wasn't very much. I think they were like $8-9 for two of them, and it came with the matching piece that the harp goes down into. The only thing is, it didn't have no nuts with it that matches the threads on top of the harp. Don't ask me why you would send somebody a harp and not a matching nut to go with it. And I'll tell you why I say that, because when I went to try a nut on it, no nut I had fitted. So I ended up having to find whatever was the closest thread and tap it, and it ended up being 6mm by 1.0 threads. Well, it just so happens that my cocking knobs are exactly that. So I had a whole crap load of knurled cocking knobs that I had prepared for sale. And I said, well, I can spare two of them for my lamp. So now I got to pay myself some money for the nuts. So now I've got knurled cocking knobs, using them for holding down my lampshade. But anyway, we'll pan you down here and show you what we're doing right now. So what we've done, I had some of this rabbit wire that's 1/2-inch squares, and I just cut whatever I had left, and so I could end up with the size that I wanted. And we cut it so that we would have one of these ends that would bend over itself and stitch it together. So this is basically just a temporary hold together. Alright, so I made my round part, and these are 12 inches wide or long and measures like 13 inches round. 13 or 14, I can't remember right off the bat. Yeah, about 13 3/4. I was shooting for 14, but that was all the material I had, so I kind of cut it short 1/2 inch, but it's still fine. All right, so we've got the base ready. We got two of those ready. Then I had bought some material a long time ago when I was living in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the Goodwill. That was a whole roll of this material. And this looks like that would be perfect material for the lamps. So one of these I cut to 13 plus 3/4 on each side for the outside. The inside one is basically, we're going to line the inside of this with the shorter one that just goes to the edge. Then the last one that goes on the outside will be glued on, and we're going to use this 3M Super 77 all-purpose adhesive, spray adhesive, and we're just going to spray the string. Then we're going to spray the inside one, and then we're going to put the inside one in. Now that'll hold it. These places ain't got much holding power, but it's going to hold it long enough for me to get the outside one on. So once I get the inside one on, then we will spray the outside of it, and put the outside one on it. So then that way it's going to get a full surface, because then you've got the inside one and the outside one butting against each other in every hole. So that will allow us our extra holding power. All right, once we get the outside one on it, then we'll just take and fold this over on the top and the bottom, and it's going to end up with about a 1/2 inch overlap that will overlap the inside one. Now once we get the inside one done, or get the this stuff on, then I made these. And what these are basically, they're going to act as a clamp. Now I've sanded the outside of this, because this one's the outside one, and it's cherry, and I really wanted to use walnut, but I didn't have enough walnut to do that with. That would have looked even better if I had walnut. But we've drilled a hole to accommodate for a screw up until about an 1/8 inch from the end, because we don't want it to come out the outside. So once we put the material on, then we'll take these, and we've got 6 for each one, that will go and sandwich 6 times all the way around it. All right, then we need a way to hold it to the lamp. So I made these parts. Find the other one. So I made these L brackets that will mount to 2 of these across from each other. And then I threaded the top one so that we can mount this to the top of it, and the head of this will be buried inside of that. So this is going to be the top part that will go across, and then there'll be a hole in the center to put it on the lamp, on the harp. So this is the only metal I had. I'd rather have had a nice flat piece of 1/4 inch, but this was all I had. This was a track out of a some kind of a showcase, and it's aluminum, and we'll clean them up and make them look nice. And same thing with these, clean them up, make them look nice on the wire wheel. So that's what our plan is. So right now I'm drilling these. I've got 2 of them done, and I decided, well, I'm at the point where I need to start doing some videoing. So right now we're setting these here, and we're going to start drilling these. And what I'm doing is putting them in the drill press, and these have to be matching ones, because somehow I got some of these a little shorter than the others. But we're going to drill all these out, and we'll be back. Alright guys, we have our 4 supports that mounts the lamp, and then the rest of them are going to be the ones that fills in around the edge of it. But I could have done this lampshade without these, but this made it a whole lot easier to be able to make a way to mount a piece across it to set on the harp. So I just figured I'd do that. But we're going to stain these, or boiled linseed oil, I'm not sure which one. Probably stain them, because I kind of like them to be a little darker, simply because the lamps are pretty dark. So we're going to go with a darker color. I think I got some walnut stain, and we're going to stain this cherry. Now I didn't do a whole lot of sanding on this, because I just want it to look beat up. Plus I'm lazy. I'm too lazy to hand sand. I hate hand sanding, and I can make that look good, and make it look like I meant to not sand it, because I really did. Yeah, I got a leaf down in my damn four-wheeler. What the hell's that doing in there? Alright, so now what we're going to do is I have set up these panels. These are the inner panels, and we've got them folded on this bracket going over top of the ladder, and we're going to spray those with glue. Before I do though, I'm going to check to make sure I've got the exact length that I need to go inside of these, so I don't have extra to have to cut while I'm dealing with glue on the back side of it sticking to everything. So we're just going to make it start right here at the crease where we sewed it together, and then go all the way around and meet right here. It doesn't matter if there's a gap there, because one of these are going to go right there. So that's what we're going to do. And then there's going to be one straight across from it. Those will be the ones that we use to hold it. And then we'll pepper 1, 2, 3, or no, 2 of them here, evenly spaced around the edge of that. So we don't know how this lamp's going to look, but we're hoping it looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and get these cut, and then spray the glue on it, and then the next thing we show is me putting it in there. So now we've got both the insides done. Now we're going to do, and I just met them right there at the crease. Now we're going to spray the outside of it and put the outside one on. Now that we've got this both sides coated, and I don't really care about the screen looking like it shows through. It actually gives it a texture, so it looks pretty decent. And then now we're just gluing the two pieces together so that they glue in between all the holes. And then once we do this, then we'll fold the other side, the outside, over top of the inside. And it don't matter what that end looks like, we're going to cover that. So now we'll take and bend the XX over. But before we do, we're going to try to cut this one down a little bit because it's a little wider here than it is over on this side. Yeah, I could probably straighten it up, but it's probably going to cause a crease. So we're just going to take the scissors around this and just kind of straighten it up a little bit, hopefully. So we'll just start here somewhere, just anywhere, and just try to keep it even all the way around. Because we don't want our border to be all crooked any more than it has to be anyway. So now we've got a pretty decent border around it. It's a little off, but it's a homemade lampshade. It's supposed to have faults. Alright, so now we're just going to fold this over and glue it to itself. Alright, there's our first lampshade. Actually looks pretty good just the way it is. But we gotta have these slats. I think it'll look okay. Well guys, I got a little ahead of you guys. And I done finished one of them. And that's what it looks like. I just kind of wanted to show what I was doing here. I'm just sandwiching these in a certain location, and they're not all uniform. There's some differences between them. I don't know how the hell that happened, but there is. But it doesn't matter to me. Anybody that nitpicks them, they shouldn't be looking at my shit anyway. But we got two more of these to put on. And we're just kind of eyeballing them. We're not really trying to get too precise. I mean, yeah, I'm counting the holes in between these and kind of, because it's such an odd number. There's an uneven number of squares, so one of them's going to be off. So I went and marked this at where it's supposed to be. And we're just taking it and putting it in one of those holes. Threading it on into the material just to get it to hold in place. Then we'll take our slat, and I decided to leave these nice and powdery looking, simply because I was out of boiled linseed oil. I don't have enough stain to do all of them, so I decided to just leave them matte. Who knows, one day I'll redo them if I ever get any material to do it with. So we're just eyeballing how straight they are. It doesn't have to be perfect. dropped the screw. I hope it wasn't one important. Probably was. Alright, we got one more left to do, and we're going to count. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It will fall in the 13th one. So we're just put a pencil mark there and find out where it's at. And put this one on it. For as much as they wanted for a set of lampshades, there ain't no way I was going to pay that much for $60 for 2 lampshades. I bet I will. So I said, by God, I could just make my own damn lampshades, and that's what I'm doing. So just stick it on there just like that, and just kind of even it. Don't matter if it's perfect. And it holds on there until I get the screw up, or the other board up on it. And we'll turn it over, even it out, and stick our last screw in it. Alright, now we'll turn it over and we'll put our bracket on it. Now we got our bracket on it. And then we'll go across, and you see somewhere it's bent a little different. We just take and bend that a little bit just to kind of straighten it up. All the way around. And then we'll do the same thing to the bottom. Looks pretty good to me. So now we've got 2 lampshades. And I think they look pretty decent. So now let's go in the house and test them out. Alright guys, these are the lamps that I got for 10 bucks. And there's really no thing on it that says what company it is. I do have the original box that they came in. Believe me, that was kind of odd. But they work. So now let's check out our lampshade. And like I said, we've got a knurled cocking knob that we used. And yes, the harp will have to be adjusted a little bit. And there we have our lampshade. I actually kind of like it. So there's the cocking knob. And I like the screen look. I actually do like that. So you got the inside material and the outside material that shows the inside material is a lighter design. So it's kind of like a camouflage, to be honest with you. So I think that's pretty tough, man. Who the hell says you have to go spend $60 for 2 lampshades that ain't personalized? Yeah, I can see one of the slats are crooked, but I really don't care, to be honest with you. That can be as simple as just loosen the screw, kind of slide it to the side a little bit, and that's what I'll do. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a lampshade, and that works pretty good. Let me turn the overhead light off and see how much. I mean, we got good lighting right there, man. I like that. I was going to paint them black, but I'm glad I remembered that I had that big roll of material. So the other one is in the living room. I haven't brought it in here yet. I didn't have enough room for both of them to show you both of them. So, but now I have an extra set of lamps that I can use around the house. I needed one in my office. Or actually, I need one in here too, because I need more light over there. But that really ain't going to give me a lot of light over there where I need it with my guns. I need to put an actual 4-foot tube light up above. I'm thinking about how to do that. Thinking about turning that bench into a lighted bench. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. But there's our lampshades, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that little crafting. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.